Riaan Cruywagen, the iconic Afrikaans newsreader, retires today. After 37 years of service to the SABC, Cray, as he's lovingly known, is a television legend. From being the voice artist for popular kids shows like Haas and Nuuskas to becoming the face of Afrikaans news, he walks us down memory lane.
Mr. Riaan Cruywagen, your name has become so popular in South Africa over the past years because of the success that you've had in broadcasting. How does it feel now that it's all coming to an end?
Well, in a certain sense, it's quite a relief. You know, having been in broadcasting since 1965, 47 years, of which the first 10 years were spent at radio and the last 37 years at television, I feel like I've accomplished something, you know, by serving the public on television, bringing them the daily news. Now, at last, I can do what other normal people do after hours, and that is, you know, to go and eat out or go to the movies, go to the theatre, go to concerts, go away for a weekend and so on. It's going to be sheer luxury.
What's your secret to keeping forever young?
I think the answer is straightforward and quite simple. It's because I never involved myself with politics.
And what has been your standard routine for the past 37 years?
Well, I'm an early riser. I get up at about 5:30 in the morning. I read newspapers, news magazines. Then I have a good breakfast with my wife. And at about 3:30 in the afternoon, I drive to the SABC to become involved in the evening's news.
During his career, he has anchored more than 7,000 news broadcasts, mostly from the SABC studio in Johannesburg.
I first go for panel beating. I no longer go for makeup at my age. It's panel beating. And then I go to the newsroom to see what is on the running order for the evening's news.
So small.
And then 10 to 7, we rehearse the headlines. I go into the studio for a sound check and camera check and so on. Welcome to Studio 10. This is the studio from where we broadcast the Afrikaans news at 7 o'clock on SABC2. And when it's 7 o'clock, I say good evening. And that's it. That's my routine.
What I will remember about Riaan most is that he's a perfectionist, he's punctual, he's been a pleasure to work with, and he's taught me a lot about television too.
When you read the stories, even the Zulu or Xhosa name that they try to pronounce very well, really.
And what advice do you have for aspiring news and media students who also want to become the next Riaan Cruywagen?
I think my advice would be twofold. In the first place, if you want to join the industry to become rich, forget about it, because you won't become a millionaire. But if you have a passion for broadcasting and particularly journalism, then follow your dream, pursue that career, and always pursue the truth. Always maintain your integrity. Always be true to yourself. And then I sincerely think that you will achieve success.
Mr. Matthews, you've known Riaan Cruywagen for well over a decade now. How has it been working with him?
Broadcasting in South Africa and Riaan Cruywagen are synonymous. The thing that impresses me most is his old school mannerism, polite almost to a fault. And, you know, I appreciated the fact that I learned a lot from him.
And can you please share with us a good luck message that you've got for Riaan?
You know, I wish Riaan a long and happy retirement. I'm sure we haven't heard the last of him. I'm sure that the kind of person that he is, you know, he's not someone who's going to be sitting at home and watching the garden. So we'll hear from him.
Now, Riaan, we know you've just recently had an English version of your autobiography released. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes, it was published in Afrikaans in April, and then on public demand it was translated, and it was released at the end of October. It's simply called What's News, and you know why I call it this? It's because when people see me, they say, "Hi, Riaan, what's news?" Associating me with news, of course. It's more than just a story about my career. It's supposed to be a very funny book, too, because it's filled with anecdotes, you know, and funny stories about broadcasters and broadcasting incidents.
Your sense of humor is something that's often written about. What are some of the other characteristics that people don't know about you?
I don't take myself too seriously. That is why I agreed to take part in that very funny promo for the Luris last year, where I sat in a jacuzzi with 8 girls in bikinis. What the public, of course, don't know is that it took 4 hours to shoot that promo, so we spent 4 hours in the tub, and I was wrinkled like a prune. But at least it was fun doing that.
Riaan, thank you so much for your time and for letting us into those special aspects of your life. South Africa is going to miss you on television, that's for sure. Good luck with the rest of your future.
Thank you very much indeed, and thanks for having me on your show. May I let you in with a little secret? That is, I do regularly watch Expresso and SABC 3. Don't let SABC 2 hear about it.
Riaan, your secret's safe with us. And because he loves us and we him, we'll be tuning into SABC's Afrikaans news tonight at 7 for Riaan Cruywagen's last broadcast. What a man!